Excuse me. Want to give a few updates on my XR650R. Excuse me, sorry guys. Most notably though, I wanted to talk about what I did with the exhaust. So, I believe I discussed in another video, when I bought the bike, it had a big gun exhaust, the headers and the tailpipe. And it was pretty loud. It was kind of, the baffling was getting worn out. It just wasn't in great shape. So I found a stock Honda header and tailpipe and purchased them. And I really liked it. I thought it was a big improvement. But the tailpipe I had purchased had the center part removed. It's a common thing somebody will do. They'll take I believe it's a 2-inch hose saw, and they'll cut this out. And essentially inside of here, which is actually really convenient, this unbolts, is kind of looks like a basket, and it functions as a spark arrestor. So everyone watching this is probably well aware of what they call uncorking. You change the intake manifold boot, which is actually oval in shape from the factory. You jet it differently, and the common thing was to buy either an aftermarket exhaust, cut this out, or from everything I've read, seems like the ideal thing is an HRC. Basically, you bought another insert for this that Honda made called I believe it was HRC insert. Those I've never seen one for sale. I don't want to say they're impossible to find, but I think they're on the verge of impossible. A lot of people really liked the thought the stock header for the Honda was really good. Anyways, to my point, in this bike, it's uncorked, and in fact, it even has a few additional things. I didn't do it, but the person I bought it from had cut out the sides, which allowed more airflow because the airbox sits right behind there. And I actually put a Mikuni TM42 pumper carb on this. Here's the deal. Ran great, or it does run great. It had ran great. It was just too loud for me. I wanted something that was a little quieter, a little bit more subdued. And I went ahead and found another stock tailpipe that had not been modified. And I bought it and put it on. And this has been a discussion in a lot of forums about people who like me wanted something a little quieter but didn't want to give up performance. I'll be honest with you guys, other than it being quieter, I did not notice any real performance detriments at all by just going a completely stock exhaust on this XR650R. I know that's kind of contrary to wisdom. I don't have an objective measure. I did not dyno it, obviously. I did not, run a couple quarter mile and, measure the time before and after, but just rideability, jumping in it and going down the street. I didn't notice a difference, which was a huge, pleasant surprise for me. In some ways, this bike is built a little bit backwards. It's completely uncorked, different carburetor, and even the airbox opened up, and on the intake side, but on the exhaust side, it's completely stock. But the thing runs great. Amazingly, I had spent a considerable amount of time jetting that TM42 to how it had been set up with the stock headers and the cord out, I guess you could say, stock tailpipe. And when I put the stock one on that was not modified, I was expecting that I would have to change some jetting or something. And just preliminary driving around the block, the thing, I would even argue in some ways it drives a little better. I don't know, that would be a marginal improvement, but anyways, just if you guys, at least in my situation, in my bike, stock was not bad. It worked out really well. I don't think I had given these updates in other videos, but I found a LED light bulb for this. I believe this is a Baja Designs this is either the stock one that came with the bike or a Baja Designs headlight, I'm not sure. But it's not sealed, and if you can see, there's a bulb that you can replace from the backside. I actually found a LED one on Amazon. It was like 30 bucks, so I put that in. Really, let's see here. Definitely an improvement over the stock one. It's still not as bright as, you know, if you buy out a sealed LED light bulb or something for some other bikes, but for what this is, and definitely the improvement over the stock one, it's great. Coupled with the fact that it's going to use less energy because it's LED. I also put in this tachometer and speedometer, and actually even as an odometer. I found this on Amazon. It was like $17, and I was able to bolt it in, and the you know, the speedometer's here. The tachometer kind of has a lit up portion that rotates around the edge here, and it has a little odometer down here. It was $17. I mean, it's the construction's actually pretty good. My major complaint is it doesn't backlight bright enough. I live here in the desert Southwest, and sometimes in bright sun, the tachometer you can't read as it, you know, lights up a bar over the circumference of the gauge. You can typically read the speed though. It is a little bit off. There's kind of a complex programming thing that you can, well, I don't say complex, but there's like a series of buttons that you can manipulate to change, you know, to get it dialed into the exact speed of your bike. I didn't really bother with that yet. It's shows you're going a little faster than you actually are, but I'll mess with it later. But an unnecessary upgrade, but for $17 and a little bit of work, it's no big deal. And mine is plated. But other than that, the bike is I love it. It's been a really, really good bike. I mean, these are getting old now, but yeah, I don't know. I have no complaints. I just really enjoy the bike. But I wanted to give you guys an update about that stock exhaust and overall performance. Thanks.